Oh, and it turns out OBS last week had an update where it had to have specific drivers to actually work. So that's what happened.
Um,
It was being mean. Okay. When last we left, we had everyone heading out to a place known as El Dorado, governed by the man known as Gavin, a petite, well, petite to most of you. He's about 5'4", a human other, but the other's hard to tell with his grime about him. Leading the way, you all managed to get towards the destination known as La Chagrin, or a small colony that Relta called home. Along the way, you met a dragon that you turned into a rabbit, a man known as Magic, or apparently a man that found Magic's mask that is now housed by Byroth, with
Sure.
spells that were once implemented with the level class 7, but not sure what exactly was input. But along the way, you managed to uncover dead bodies long since dead, give them a proper burial, and while doing so, accidentally lifted a veil upon I would call it shed. Entering inside, you found what appeared to be an item of virtue, a long pearlescent bow for a violin. Managing to get out after hearing a voice, you all decided to take a long rest after performing the ritual rites. This is about morning now, when you begin to hear some rumbling underneath the ground. You've been awake for about 30 minutes after a long rest, so it's not like you're camped out and unexpectedly hearing the rumbles now. They've been going on and off for about 10 minutes now.
Rialta, does your village regularly experience earthquakes?
No, not really.
yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think so.
If they regularly did, you're near what's called the, what did I give? World lore. The Razor's Edge Mountains, which are icicle-like sculptured structures, where if there were earthquakes around so much, it would break apart a large mountain section and fall onto your area way too much for it to be a safe area to live.
Do we think this is going to cause an avalanche?
It's minor. If you ever lived in a in a state or province where earthquakes are common that you barely feel them, it would be like that. They're perceptible, but nothing to worry about just yet. But they've been growing more in frequency.
Before the long rest, could I have asked anyone if they knew the identify spell for the violin bow?
Yeah.
I already cast it, and I may or may not have been less cursed. I don't think I learned that much.
You learned that it was a item of virtue. It requires a specific elemental to overcome its block. Basically, a specific race or alignment needs to unlock this. Otherwise, everyone else would be blocked off or cursed/blessed. You don't exactly know what was placed on you.
Can I make any sort of determination to that?
I don't know how you can incite yourself.
Could I try and attune to it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even if you don't know what it does, you can attune to it, and that will probably give you what you need.
I just want to attune to it just to see if I can figure out what exactly it does.
Okay. Do you want to do it before or after you wake up? I mean, before you sleep or after you wake up?
Sleep.
before.
Sleep, sorry, if it didn't come through.
Okay. Before you go to sleep, you attune to the bow. It is serene. It is tranquil. It is something that brings you peace. It's nice. It's not something you are used to, especially since you live in an area that is quite dangerous, or at least you've been living in an area that's quite dangerous. It brings you a sense of serenity without too much problematic incident. You need to look at your character sheet, because if you already have it, it won't take effect. Looking for a character. As it stands, your charisma goes up by 2, giving you a bonus of 1 to your stat score.
So my charisma goes up by 23 or 24?
24 giving you a bonus to your stat. So
It's
24
very charismatic.
so
Ooh.
becomes a 7. If you don't have... No, wait, you do. So that doesn't happen. You now have proficiency in deception. You now have a proficiency in intimidation.
Doesn't sound very virtuous.
And you now know some strange tune. You don't know exactly what it does, but you begin to hear a melody playing in your head, as if it's a song you've long since heard or have begun to hear. And it's just something that's present. You can try playing it, but you don't exactly know what it could or could not do. It could just be a song that you just now know.
I'll try playing it in the morning when everyone's awake.
Okay. After the first 2 tremors, everyone decides that you might as well wake up. After a long rest, you bring out your bow, bring out your instrument, and go ahead and roll performance. Nice.
Wait, hang on. Did you say that my charisma goes up or it doesn't?
It does.
Okay, right.
And this is an item that can go beyond its normal properties. Your normal properties. Like, what would be beyond natural. As you begin to play, begin to hear this melody, everyone around you, surrounding you, everyone you consider a friend. Do you consider Gavin a friend? You don't have to.
A colleague, so yeah.
Fair enough. Everyone you
It's a
consider
work acquaintance.
work acquaintance, let's just say that, begins to hear and feel a change within them, a vibrance within, a calm clarity. For the next minute, you have what's known as True Strike placed upon you. Your next hit gets an advantage strike, whether it be magical or more mundane. This is known as the Song of the Insightful. Or you can give it a different name. I'm bad with names.
Hang on, I should, Is this something I can just do now, or is it something I have to practice?
It's something you can do now because you rolled a 31. If you rolled like an 18 or a 20, you'd have to continuously practice this, but you got it on the spot.
Okay.
18 or 20. She has a plus 16 now bonus.
That's 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, if I had plus 16, I would cry with happiness.
But after a minute passes, you finish the tune and everyone goes back to their stances. If you had to guess, you could use this in combat, but probably like once per turn. And you'd have to roll a performance check and it'd take your action.
Okay.
That being said, it's really good because it encompasses everyone you consider a colleague / friend. Including yourself.
What?
So on your next turn, you would have advantage.
Attack rolls? Or just any roll?
It would be considered attack rolls, but for you, since you hold the item in question, it would be any roll.
wow, that was a really great song, Hollywood. Did it come from the bow you're holding?
Yeah, it seems like I did it correctly.
Uh, if you had some sort of connection with the thing, could you perhaps determine what it did to me?
I can try talking to it again to ask.
Magic items are complicated. It could work.
You hear Gavin then state, "Yes, potentially. In fact, you made mention that you spoke with it before, correct? Perhaps it's willing to speak with you again."
What was that?
Going live.
I forgot.
Oh. Thank you.
I'm just gonna look down at the violin bow and go, hello, are you still there?
Yes?
Hey, so, tell me this, but do you know what... Did you do something to my, as I point to Baroff, when he tried to inspect you?
Not me, the person that made me.
Person that made you?
Well, people, it's hard to remember.
Would you have any idea what happened, or?
I think he was, bounced off. It's a safeguard in case someone that isn't meant for this, to stop.
I just turned to Baroff. Apparently, you triggered a defense mechanism. Because I think you weren't the one that it wanted to attune to, maybe? Or it didn't want to be looked into.
Think it had any lasting effects? Should I? I don't feel any different, do I?
No, at least you don't think so.
And the healer can't diagnose himself. Alright. Okay. Thank you for the insight, Alibu. Don't suppose you have any arcane experience you could perhaps take a look?
Can I?
Yeah, go for it. Arcana, what are we looking at, DM?
It would be more religion than anything else, honestly.
19 for Rialta.
Nice. Examining what you're seeing Byroth is examining the words that Halu has stated that were given to her by this thing. You can tell that he was rebuffed with something similar to what would be considered a counterspell. It's not dangerous in the sense that he won't die from this rebuttal, but he probably won't be able to cast a spell he tried to use on this item until he has something known as Removed Curse, or has received a blessing from a religious faction or class. So a cleric, paladin, something like that needs to bless him, or he needs the spell Removed Curse.
Can you cast that on yourself? Remove curse?
I think tomorrow I will done it. Today I have the spell magic. Tomorrow I will get Remove Curse.
Okay.
Or if I can't just bless myself.
You can try.
Okay, what are my thingies? Try to make it thematic in some way. Okay, yeah, I do this at the beginning of every day, actually. Is I bless my weapon. I literally bless it, so... Does that count?
No. That'd be blessing your weapon, not yourself.
Alright.
Dun, dun, dun. While this is going on, can we sense where the tremors are coming from?
Yes. After this information is acquired, you begin to feel more tremors along the water system that has been frozen over. Roughly south of your location. It doesn't seem like something you should be too concerned about, but it is concerning that this has been happening once you woke up.
Is that the same direction that we know the dragon's nest is in now?
You know, it's the same location where there's a frozen small lake. As in, literally right behind Dark Pegasus / Caitlyn.
Oh, you mean...
Little Kitty.
So it's coming from, like, not far away, like, literally right freaking there?
Yeah, they are small tremors.
Alright, well, we should go investigate that. Our dream investigation team.
Okay. Caitlyn moves to the side to allow you guys to enter because her tokens take up most of that space.
Okay.
Investigation rolls. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell how excited I am. That's Byroth. Not great.
What have you done?
Water sure looks cold.
Water does look cold. In fact, it's frozen over.
Yeah, that's what an 8 gets me.
You see something in the water. It's hard to tell what exactly it is, but you do see it like bumping on the surface, it is a very thick shell of ice. It's hard to tell exactly the size of this thing, but if it's ramming into the ice and causing these small tremors, you assume, it is something with enough force to do that.
And the ice is totally frozen.
The surface is frozen, yes. Underneath, it's possible there's malleable water.
Okay.
Can I go down and get on the ice and look at it?
Sure.
I'll do that. Because if something happens, like it breaks, I can just I can fly away. So I'm gonna tell you guys that, because I don't know how sturdy it is. I don't want anybody to fall in.
You get on, and it doesn't break. You can tell that this ice is quite solid.
Okay.
Another investigation check, or
Relta would be the only one able to interpret anything else, unless Halloween wants to roll.
What do I roll?
Investigation.
and another one for Rialto. We're bad at this.
Investigating the area, Halloween, like Relta and Byroth before you, you can tell that there's something crashing into the ice. It's hard to tell exactly its shape and size, but Rialta and Halloween, you see it coming to the surface, hits roughly 5, maybe 10 feet away from the exact point Rialta's at, and you feel a tremor once again. It's hard to tell once again because of the way the ice shapes the creature, what exactly it is and its exact size. But you feel the earth underneath you move.
Rialto, any chance you can speak with the creature?
I mean, if it's an animal, I can speak with it. But if it's not an animal, I don't think I can. So I could... But it's under the ice, would it even hear me?
Let's find out. Verbally. That has to be able to hear you.
If you have something similar to create or destroy water or manipulate water, you may be able to break through the ice for it to hear you. But then it'd be creating a point where...
Opening.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's trying to get out?
Yes.
I'm gonna get off the ice.
I mean, I can start casting Eldritch Blast at it to try and
I have
break
like
it.
fire spells. Like I can. Yeah, don't I have a fire thing? I'm a tiefling.
You
Or
probably
am I just
should.
resistant to fire? Like I never get.
Oh, wait.
It's been so long since I've looked at my goddamn spells.
Byroth can imbue his melee attacks with fire, so you don't have to waste spells. Because he has a
Okay.
javelin, he could just like burn off one little hole in.
Alright, well I'm gonna get back over to where you guys are.
Alright.
And I propose we break open the ice, but I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think? If we should do that or not?
It seems there were many secrets in your hometown village, Rialto.
As you're wandering about,
Yeah.
other people move.
Let us
Other
uncover
people
more
what?
secrets of this place then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I know anything about this being here, like this monster thing being here before I left my village?
No, this is new. You know that
Okay.
your master held and cared for creatures? But this is different. Do any of you have a past perception of 15?
I have a passive of 17.
Nice.
Rialto has a passive of 18.
Ooh. Okay, both of you then.
Oh,
Byron.
and my passive is 15.
Yay!
Okay, fine. I was just gonna make a joke, like saying Byroth because you're wearing a helmet. Of course you can't see anything. Now, as it hits the surface, you feel and see a small crack forming. It has been hitting it, if you had to guess, throughout the night. And now you see it breaking through. Not immediately, it will probably take a couple more hits, but you see it dive further down to get more coverage, and then each of you see something else swarm towards the thing. Not in a swarm, but a larger thing heading towards it, and it moves out of the way.
So now the larger thing is coming at us?
No, if you had to take a guess based on Byroth's intelligence and history, this is as if some other creature is fighting this other creature.
Are they fighting?
Yes, similar to
something's-
how primal instinct takes hold, and two creatures of dominant power are trying to fight for food.
Hmm. Whatever's down there, it is dangerous. But he's clearly trying to escape.
How does Hollywood feel about this?
As soon as he said dangerous, she's like taking a step back away.
I'm like, should we actually crack open this thing or should we just walk away? Because.
Well, the last time we stuck our head somewhere where it didn't belong, looks at Hollywood, we got a fancy item.
Didn't you just say it was dangerous?
Didn't that thing is dangerous. The bow is dangerous.
Potentially.
I vote we let it out, why not?
I mean, I'm just saying I can only cast that spell once on one creature per se.
The polymorph. Well, let's cross that bridge when we come to it.
Gavin then states, "Yes, and much like adventurers, why not deal with creating our own problems?"
Rialta has polymorph as well, by the way.
Oh, oof.
I have no idea why Byroth and Rialta's names, I just noticed it, weren't showing. Weird. Civ then states, "Well, if you want to break it open, I suppose I can lend you a hand."
I mean, sure, if you think it's necessary, do it, but
I mean, do any of you have high frequency fire magic?
once a turn, fire attack.
No, I mean like something massive, but in point blank range.
I have a. I think my wand's recharged right now. I have the wand that lets me shoot fireballs, and I have bullets that are. What gun did I put that on?
The bullets you can interchangeably use any type of gun.
Okay.
We got 50 stake or fireball rounds.
So I got firepower. So,
Okay.
I have wall of fire.
To catch everyone up, you guys woke up. Halibu connected with the bow. The bow talked with her, saying that Byroth is curse/blessed unless you're blessed by someone or something, or just have removed curse. You all saw something in the ice that's currently trying to break through, and then that thing is attacked by another thing. Not exactly sure what it is. Civ then mentioned if we're gonna break through, you need something with enough potent yet finite fire magic. or fire ability. That's where we're at.
I mean, if you just want to do it, but I do have Wall of Fire.
Alright. She then takes out what appears to be a metal dowel and pushes it inside the ice. Then moves back. Alright, if you're gonna do this, aim directly at the dowel. It can take your bullet, your fireball, whatever, and it'll press into it, the force.
I want to try to shoot it.
Okay. How do you work a fireball wand? Or whatever it is.
Same way you would cast fireball.
So the ice has to make a dexterity throw?
Yeah, potentially, but I just need to know how much damage you do.
Yeah, I don't have it as a spell. It's an item. So there.
Oh,
Yeah,
is this complicated?
yeah, no one's close enough to fall in, Cerberus, so don't worry about it. I mean, unless you want to get closer.
What's the regular fireball? 66?
I think it's 68. And who gets further back?
Yeah. I'm sure Caitlin would be 60 feet up in the air right now. On her horse.
Okay.
Or at least her horse would.
You would be off screen, but you'd be right there.
Oops.
So you get an 8.
No. There we go.
Oh, that's just barely enough to break through the ice. As Rauta extends her hand and then remembers that the fireball spell is in the wand, you use the wand to cast fireball. It extends straight into the ice. You feel the magic then implode within, and then you see the dowel burn with an ember-like glow as all the force, the strength within the fireball just melds into the dowel. And then you hear a, similar to a tea kettle, whistle just straight through, burrowing through the ice, breaking through, and you feel water now gushing through the hole. You are able to speak with animals if it is an animal. You are also able to note that it will take one good hit or two to completely break through now that you've created a small hole.
Okay.
Want to cast Speak with Animals?
Civ goes
yeah.
for her down
Yeah.
and comes back.
Speak with Animals. Ciao.
Okay. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for a duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts are limited to their intelligence, but the minimum, beasts can give you information, nearby locations, monsters, including whatever, blah 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 blah. You cast Speak with Animals, and then it just bounces off whatever this thing is. You're able to take note that this creature is a large creature. It should not be in water, and it is not classified as an animal. Whatever this thing is, it has sapience.
Sentience?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Sentience.
Jeez, I hope it's not that red dragon.
You then see the other thing go and attack the creature again. Since they're moving against one another, you can at least tell that both of these creatures are large, or classified as large or bigger.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Should I pop the top on this ice cap?
Should what?
Should I blow up the ice? I have control water. I can make it shoot up in the air.
Wait, what's the plan for that?
We have no plan. We're just going to see what it is.
True, because it's not an animal, so.
If you don't want to waste anything, Civ then states, you can try to draw their attention. I mean, once they know you're here, they will likely come for you.
So we're hunting these things now. Okay.
Or getting these things to hunt you, depending on what
I don't know.
resources you want to expend.
I just want to figure out what they are and why they're here, I guess. And
Ah, well then, if you want that, I have here what's considered a magnifying glass. He then holds up a magnifying glass. I can direct sunlight straight into their, if they have eyes, causing them to come up and hit the ice cap exactly at the exact same time, causing it to break in one go. As Alubu gets further back.
Wouldn't that break it?
should we?
Isn't that what you want to do?
Well, it's done in the animal, I
And then
guess.
we have to deal with whatever it is before we find out what it is.
I mean, you can... If it has sentience, perhaps you can... meld minds with it.
Hang on. Oh fuck, I need to be within 30 feet of it.
You could cast it through your familiar, I think.
Thought through my familiar?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts through my familiar then.
Cerberus, you are right. I just think this is better.
No.
You're being cautious. You're being thoughtful in your spell. You're not trying to kill one another by accident or otherwise. I'm just gonna allow it. Plus, the ice is pretty solid, so the water, air quotes, would be more like a slushy. So it's touching through transitive property. / I just want it to work. Your familiar touches the ice, and through the ice, through the icicles forming, straight down, it would be more like a slushy now that I think about it. You you pinpoint two creatures underground, two very massive creatures. You can tell that one has enough willpower to talk back to you if you decide to connect with it. The other is more monstrous. Which one do you decide to meld with?
Which ones was it, sorry?
There's one that has intelligence but seems aggressive, and the other one is just aggressive and bestial-like.
I'll try and go with the intelligence one then.
Alright. Inside your mind, you hear a connection. You feel anger, frustration, and hunger. You hear these words, but it is in Draconic if you know how to say, speak.
Nope.
Okay. Then all you hear is Asa, Hisaramasa. You then feel both of those creatures impact another inside the slushy water, and you assume it's cussing the creature out. and then you feel its presence getting closer as if it's aiming for the ice once again.
I just say out loud, I don't really think we should be messing with this. Cosmo back to me now.
Okay. As you call Cosmo back, the creature underneath impacts the ice, fracturing the surface. It would take one good or average hit of this creature to break through on the next go. Either go far enough away that you are hidden, or you stick around and see what happens.
If she said it's not, if Hollywood said she doesn't think we should mess with it, I'll go ahead and leave.
Okay.
Done.
Alright then. Gavin then follows forward. Civ then goes, yeah, okay.
Very indecisive bunch. Let's just find out what we're dealing with.
You guys
I
basically
bet
get
on Dragon.
far enough away where Cerberus currently is, off map, but I'm gonna say you're in this corner. You wait for the next tremor, because the next tremor is going to be it breaking through. And as you wait for the next one, you see a massive dragon in scale, what appears to be a white frost dragon. It is shivering, it is cold, and from what you can tell, it is bluer than it should be. If you had to guess, it was frozen solid for quite some time. Only something of varying degree would it cause it to thaw out. Maybe something that happened like a day ago might have caused this. Who's to say? But as this thing breaks through, you see another creature massive in scale as well, aim for its jawline. However, the creature, speaking in Draconic again, but this time all of you hear it, so if any of you know Draconic.
Rialta still had. Oh, she just. Yeah, that doesn't count. Never mind.
Civ technically does, but I don't want her to be the one to discover it. So I'm just gonna say she's too far away.
Aww.
She's just being rude and looking over Cerberus' shoulder, just staring at his artwork while she makes it. So it's just awkward. Any artist would know what that means. Anyways.
I suppose Caitlin knows Draconic.
Oh, does she?
She does. She probably does.
I mean, if Caitlin knows it, I guess I can give you... Although I can't find a character sheet. Oh wait, there it is. If she does, she doesn't have it written in her character sheet.
Tisk tisk.
Here we go, languages.
Deep speech?
No. Gavin would, but he's just being nosy and looking over Cerberus' shoulder again.
Oh well, we tried.
You just see these two creatures fighting. If you were close to it, maybe you would have to take a side. Maybe if you had a gem, you could control the outcome. But right now, they're just fighting with one another. You can just leave. Honestly, if you really wanted to. Or you can wait and see how things turn out.
So, Rialta, your hometown is more interesting than you initially built it as?
Whoa, this stuff wasn't here before. This is all new stuff. Can we, like, call, what's her name? Penny the Dragon and be like, can you tell us what they're saying?
It's too far away. At this
Okay.
point, it was like 12 hours ago, it would be home.
Yeah, alright.
I forgot about that.
I'm like, we're friends with the dragon. Alright, cool enough. I'll just leave them be and be like, well, I mean, at least they're not in the ice anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Who knows? But if you had to guess, this creature, the dragon, was here for quite some time.
Then there was like no myths in my town about a dragon being buried under the ice or anything?
Nothing like that, no. So either it had something to do with the destruction of your village, or maybe it came after.
Wait, what was that? You broke up a bit.
It might have something to do with the destruction of your village, or it came after. You don't know. But you've had no myths about a strange dragon appearing out of nowhere. No tides you have to give it.
What about this worm thing it's fighting? Do I know anything about that?
If you had to guess, the worm thing looks relatively newer.
Can I try and do a nature check on both of them? Or...
Yeah, I was about to say Halliwoo could probably do nature check and discover a little more. Her and Caitlin would be the only one. Oh, Cerberus, you can do this as well. You would know something, but it wouldn't have to do with like the history of this. It has something to do with specifically your own natures and what you have. Yeah, that's fair. I'll roll one for Caitlin, I guess.
Ooh.
I don't like
Not...
that.
And look, you just showed up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Examining the nature of these creatures, seeing what they are, Halliwoo, you can tell that the dragon came from some other location. It is not from here, but from what you can tell, it has been here for quite some time. You're not sure, but you assume someone brought it here, as it seems foreign to this land. The other one, though, seems as if it was summoned here, as if something brought it here from a different dimension altogether. Someone's familiar, perhaps, or something similar in that line. Then Caitlin says, yeah, that's exactly what happened. The dragon seems from a different location, close to, but not here. It would be inside the Razor's Edge Mountains. The other thing, which is known as a frostworm, was summoned here and is being controlled as if someone has it as its familiar, which is crazy ridiculous.
Look over at Halliwoo's cat, look back at the worm. Cat, worm, cat, worm. This must be a powerful person to control a worm like this. Should we intervene?
And I can't. The worm's not technically a animal beast thing, right? What did it say, beast? Oh, I can't scroll up. I tried to scroll up.
It's also a familiar, so it's bonded and being controlled by another person who is not.
You have dispel magic.
That could do it.
High enough to spell magic might work, but I don't know that spell personally.
I do. And we were just talking about how I knew it.
Use it.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Dispel magic. I might as well crank it.
Gross.
So probably, I think I can do 6 level spells. I might as well. Hopefully, it's equal to or lesser than a 6 level spell. I doubt it.
Ah, you are so close too.
So DC is 10 plus the spell. How does this work?
DC is 10 plus the spell's level 17 or above, you assume.
Okay. So that means I have to roll Wisdom?
I believe it's Arcana or whatever your spell modifier is, plus your proficiency.
Yeah, so just Wisdom.
It's raw wisdom.
Okay. Oh no, that was Wisdom save. That's not raw. Raw Wisdom.
I don't like that the first time you just barely passed and the second time you overpassed it. I don't like how you're dealing with my problems. Immediately, as Halabu states, maybe counterspell? Baroth goes, oh yeah, I have that. Casts it, fights against this creature, and then immediately technically blows it up because it's made out of ethereal magic.
Wait, he blew up the worm?
Technically. It was manifested similar in the same way. Think about magic as a living organism. This was bound magic in the shape of a frostworm.
That's pretty cool.
Not
I just turned to her and said, I did say dispel magic, but I guess that works as well.
I cast Dispel magic.
if you had to guess, this is how this person was actually controlling the frostworm, taking its form and its abilities rather than taking something so powerful and found in nature. However, this did bring the attention of your guys' location to the dragon.
Hello. Hopefully we've been helpful today.
Yes, have a good day.
You guys thought it would be that easy.
I mean, we helped it get out of the ice and away from the worm.
It doesn't know that. It just knows that you blew a creature that it was fighting against.
And it doesn't know common.
As far as you
might-
know,
It might know giant.
We don't know what it knows. We just know it's only been speaking draconic, right?
yeah.
I mean, doesn't Civ know
I'm a-
draconic?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to be like, you're not in the ice.
Go ahead
Try
and
to
roll
talk to it because
Persuasion, Rota. Disadvantage because as Caitlin tries to bind the creature in its place, it breaks through your hold person and bites your horde's head off. It dies.
Ooh, natural 1 on the disadvantage.
And then these spells.
oh
Wait,
jeez.
what did it bite off?
The horse's head.
Oh, feels bad.
Maximilian. Okay, so that was rude. Do you understand common?
The only reason why it bit the horde's heads off because natural 1. And Caitlin tried to hold monster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Oh.
Let's see, the spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears, moreover the target speaks, and the creature knows blah, 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 blah.
Do you touch yourself, Caitlin, or do you touch the dragon?
So that was assuming. You might not want to do that.
Get your hands off my tail, you're making it dirty.
I mean, if you want to touch the dragon, go ahead and try to do that.
Do it.
Okay. As you head towards the dragon, it just shouts straight into your eardrums. Go ahead and take... If you have anything that reduces psionic damage, go ahead and reduce 4. It then reverberates in your ears as it turns straight towards you, Caitlin. Do not touch. Then it goes over to... probably Byrol, since it knows where the direction of the magic went from. It looks towards you and simply states, I was about to thank you. Been there for about who knows how long. Then this creature came out of nowhere after... doesn't matter anymore, I'm sure the guy's dead anyways. So thanks for dealing with that issue.
You are
That guy's
welcome.
dead.
Can I ask a question? Is the dragon hurt?
Yes. Like, all over its body. It was either fighting with something prior to this creature, fighting with the creature, or both.
It just kind of like side eye the creature and just goes, do you want some healing? Nervous sweating intensifies. So dragon's right next to her.
Roll persuasion as it draws closer.
Persuasive.
It nearly coats half of your body, just going straight towards your neck, you assume? Seeing how the horse was eaten, and then it just goes lower than that, presenting its head. That would be great. Thanks.
I'm casting Cure Wounds on it at 6th level.
Oh.
Nice. You heal some of the bruises, cuts, the large gash mark on its right torso. It doesn't seem to be a wound the creature could have done, more like a blunt force magic spell. But that gets healed.
Tell me, noble dragon, what were you doing in the ice before this great worm came?
I was brought here.
What were you brought here for?
Don't know. Someone used a... Then he stops himself. But he does trust Halliwoo currently, and Byroth technically. Doesn't like Caitlin, and Relta pretty much just squealed at him by accident.
I did what at him?
You just squeaked because you got a natural 1.
Oh. Okay.
You kind of just froze in fear.
I was like, I melted the ice for you. No.
Cerberus hasn't done anything to displease it. Gavin is just in the background, and Civ is also in the background, just staring at Cerberus's art. Yeah, I suppose he'd say something. Unless... Okay, never mind. Yeah, he'd say something. I thought Cerberus might throw paint at it or something. That'd be funny. Whatever the thing, or whoever brought me here, they used the gem to control me. I wasn't able to break free. They used their influence to cast ice upon this village, burying it in sleet and snow as these people looked for... I don't know what they looked for. But after being unable to find it, and deciding to come back one day, they forced me to bind myself in ice and submerged me within the... Would it say gallows? No, it wouldn't. Beneath the lake itself. sent out creatures before my consciousness disappeared out into the area to wreak havoc and cause more destruction. Unable to trace them once again, I assume, was the reason for this. And I lost consciousness until a day ago.
Did the person who commanded you to do all this wear a mask?
No.
But they commanded you with a gem. We recently came across a person with something like that. They commanded a red dragon who has a den in the area.
It begins to laugh, thinking about a red dragon being controlled by an insignificant life form, and then brings itself back to normal. Gems are quite dangerous to us. This is how the first... yeah, I still trust you, unless you do something stupid. This is how the first riders commanded us to begin with. Without an actual connection, they forced the connection, allowing them to ride us into battle. These gems still persist to this day, I assume. But this man wore no mask. Simple blue hair, adorning a silver blade.
Blue hair, wearing it with wielding a silver blade?
It looked more like a halberd.
May I ask where you originally came from?
The Razor's Edge Mountains, deep into the territory.
Anything about the Razor Edge Mountain, would I? Specifically?
Nothing specific. You know that it is a very dangerous location. You know that if people get lost there, they do not get found. Either the snow takes them, creatures take them, or who knows what else. You've heard rumors about creatures known as Wendigo being from this location, but you're not exactly sure where they come from or what they do. Actually, you're a bard. Go ahead and roll history. You might have some bardic knowledge or tale.
Hang on.
I think that's funny just
Mouse
because
is
of
active.
how, like, regional, like, the Wendigo story is and how it's, like, north and west and stuff. I don't know.
You've heard rumors that these creatures, they might be drawn from other things, like maybe from a dead body, maybe from something else. But other than that, you're not exactly sure. Beyond that, you don't really have any more information at this moment. You're kind of talking to a weird frost dragon that's some reason polite. So you
Yeah,
can absorb it in that.
Hallie was making very sure not to say the wrong thing because she knows dragons are prideful creatures.
Mm-hmm. We all just let that, like, Dragon Rider thing slide. We're like, nobody asked him.
Yeah, don't even bring it up. Let's move past it. Have we even asked the dragon its name yet?
You haven't. But as... Are you gonna say it? Because if you don't, it's gonna say it.
Yeah, I want to ask what its name is.
Okay. You simply ask, what's your name? And it states, forgive the informality. I have been most abrupt. It has been a long night.
Understandable.
I've been given many names, but the most I am known for is Frost. Frost the Icebound.
Hail, noble Frost the Icebound. I am Byroth.
I'm Hallie Woo, she does like a curtsy.
I'm Rialta, and I'll bow down a little bit, politely. A little head bow.
Caitlin tries to fist bump the dragon.
Killing this what?
Nothing. Terrible joke.
I
But-
like picked up the phone, looked at it, like what?
I can see Dropkick doing that though. But no. Because you helped it out, it simply states there's no need for formality. You have proven yourselves worthy of camaraderie, at least for the moment. Since you have done me a service, I can do you one in kind. Name something, and I can provide it for you if I am able.
What was that last part?
Name something,
He'll
and he
give
can
it to
provide
us.
it if he's able to. Like,
Oh,
if he
okay.
asks for like a legendary weapon, he might have to look for that. If it's something he can do now, he can do it. Or if it's information he knows, information you want, he might be able to dive into that. You can tell he's
He
an
already did.
adult dragon, so he's at least 500 to 800 years old.
Hmm.
He didn't remember the name of the guy that brought him here or whatever, right?
He didn't give it to you, he just gave you a description.
And he was brought here before the village was avalanched.
He was brought here to avalanche the village?
To
We
basically
don't.
kill everyone, coated in ice, basically was his wording, but basically he froze everything over, basically killing everything. So the people that brought him here, but specifically the person that brought him here, could look for something. He doesn't know what, because they never told him they need not bother to, is how he phrased it. But they didn't find
Oh.
it. So instead, coming back one day, or thinking coming back one day, they forced him to freeze himself over, and submerged him into the lake.
I'll ask him if he can possibly give us a description of who controlled him.
There was a blue-haired guy wielding a silver sword, right? Or a silver halberd?
He called it a silver blade, but yes, it would be a silver halberd.
And we don't know his name, or he just didn't give it to us?
He didn't give it to you. If you had to assume it's something you could perhaps already have, or a deliberate ploy to not give you information so you wouldn't, what's it called?
Ask.
Yeah, you would have to forcibly ask.
Okay, then yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, what I want. I'll ask. Do you know the
Before you
name of the
do,
guy that brought? Yeah.
You, Byroth, would be able to. Oh, Caitlin would be able to roll history.
Oh, okay. I will roll history then.
I was about to ask about the guy that we saw breaking into the tower. Alright, I'll roll the check.
But I asked if that guy had anything to do with it.
I mean, I was going to suggest to the party about magic being a part of this.
Yeah. Like,
As you begin to think about this, Cerberus just comes up, writes essence of a life into a weapon, presenting his staff and a bow. I don't know what that means.
Her staff in a bow.
Oh, wow! I could not read that.
Tear and tear. Bow and bow.
Yeah. Is that Byros or is that Realtas?
That is Byroth's. And Rialta's history. She doesn't get advantage on it or anything.
Yes, she would.
History.
Caitlin and Byroth, you both remember some guy you saw breaking into a tower with that specific description. You don't know his name, unfortunately, but you do know he has ties to Rialta. He looks like this.
Didn't we see a blue-haired guy in the desert that one time?
I thought his name was Frost.
It is.
I just remembered that I was like, wait, his name was Frost, yeah.
I can tell. Rialta, you wouldn't know this, but I'm gonna let this slip out anyways. He took the dragon's name.
Oh, okay.
I made this.
So thinking back, Byroth, you can ask Rialta if she remembers blah blah blah, and she can give you the name, so you don't have to ask the dragon.
Wow. Like crazy coincidence. Was he always named Frost? Blue hair guy?
No, Rialta, you know his name normally. Let's see. The point in time you had been underneath the same apprenticeship. I forgot. It would be Dreadnought.
Real edgelord.
If you had to guess, and by the way he was during practice, Rialta, that also wasn't his real name.
He's full of fake names.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we were in training, he went by Dreadnought, and I don't even know where he got that from.
Well, if he can control dragons, he's dangerous indeed.
But he's controlling them with these gems, so it's...
Why do you have any idea why he might want to destroy the village where he was trained?
Based on what the dragon said, he was looking for something, but doesn't know what he was looking for, and he couldn't find it here, so I don't know.
Two guesses as to what it was. Why this was woken up the day after we found it.
Yeah, you could take a wild guess. But the first one to ask for something was Cerberus, so that can be easily done. It then whistles. Somehow, it's really hard to tell how a dragon whistles. And inside your staff, not bow again, you feel...
Technically, it could be a bow staff. Ew.
Semantics. You feel this staff reverberate with something, as if something was slipped in and then re-knitted together.
Oh, yeah, we're asking boons, huh?
Yeah.
Would it be improper, Great Frost, if I asked for a scale on which I could forge a shield?
That would be fine, I suppose. You seem he's miffed, but you helped him. The scale's the least he can do. He plucks one out close to his neck, which would be one of the stronger scales, and places it in front of you.
You've done me a great boon. I thank you.
The scale is basically the size of a buckler, so it's pretty big.
Buckler for Byroth or buckler for a regular person?
Buckler for Byroth.
Sure.
Can you give me the ability to talk or to speak
I heard speak, and that was it. Did it disconnect?
I did.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
now I can.
I was wondering if the dragon can allow me to talk to dragons.
You simply
Give me
need,
that ability.
You simply need to learn the tongue of the dragons or the magic braid. Draconic, but that is something I can do. He brings about snow in front of him, blowing on it and pressing it down with his... I wouldn't call them hands, but I wouldn't call them claws. His front paw. Breaking it into a small, more refined state where he presents you a small crystal. This will allow you to speak the tongue of the dragons if you decide to wear it.
Oh, thank you. I will make it a necklace and wear it.
It's just basically a draconic tongue crystal. That made no sense. It's basically a translator. You can understand draconic, and you can also speak draconic. Although once you have the crystal off of you, probably can't understand or speak. It doesn't need attunement, you just need to have it on your person.
Can I like add other stuff to this in the future, possibly?
Yeah, you just need to find the right things or people.
Nice. Thank you very much.
You can tell it's still a little miffed from giving Byroth the scale. Not mad, just upset.
Apologies, are you hungry? I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry.
Are you talking to Cerberus still?
No, I'm talking to the dragon. I sent Cosmo over to Cerberus.
Oh, okay. The dragon simply looks at you and goes, I am, but it'd be inappropriate to eat my helpers. And I don't know, I suppose I can summon something to eat. Wasn't really full with that horse's head. Simply disappeared once I bit it off.
I only have dried meats. I'm not sure if that will satisfy your stomach or not.
It will not. Once I am done here, I will go back to the mountains to begin my hunting. But I do appreciate the offer.
I'm really tempted to just give him bardic inspiration.
That's cute.
Is Kaden asking for anything, or are you just still sad about your horse?
I wasn't sad about the horse. I walked over there and walked back. I'm seeing what everyone's gonna ask for. They ask for my thing.
Oh, well, Cerberus got something infused into their staff. Hallowoo has yet to ask. Rauta got a stone crystal, technically, that allows her to speak Draconic. Byroth got a scale. Gavin hasn't asked for anything. Civ hasn't asked for anything.
Hallowoo's not tempting fate, so she's not asking for anything.
Go ahead and roll history.
There it is.
You know, maybe not dragons per se, but when someone offers you a gift in return of services, it is sometimes considered disrespectful if you do not accept a gift. You're not sure if this is 2 and 2 with a dragon, but potentially. Cerberus? Not really. You helped it, and it considers you lesser beings, so all of you combined would be the equivalent of that.
We're like ants. We're
Pretty much.
collective to him.
I have no idea what she would ask for.
It doesn't have to be something big. It can be something minor, like, can we be friends? Can I pet you?
She would simply ask permission to make this into a story.
That is acceptable. Okay. Gavin asked for a bit of frost breath inside of a jar, and Civ whispers something to it, and it simply nods. Do any of you have a past perception of 25? Yeah, that's what I thought. But do you speak Draconic?
I do now.
Your passive perception's 18.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You read her lips, and if you find someone that speaks Draconic, you could perhaps deduce what she's spoken. That doesn't count. Lips do different things in different languages. Like, if you're...
What if we know sign language?
I'd say writing and lips is different because writing is there and lips is moving.
No, the way I interpret it is languages differ in the way they move their mouths. If you don't know the language, you wouldn't interpret the mouth correctly. I will say you could roll an insight and perhaps get a sense of what she spoke. Okay. I mean, I don't want to change your character if you don't want to change your character. But I just don't see lip reading the same as languages. But yeah, you read her lips, so if you find someone that knows Draconic, you can easily deduce what it is. That's everyone but Caitlin.
Is it looking at me now?
It's patiently waiting, but not really looking at you.
Okay. I am curious about something. Although I don't count this as my question, you're free to answer it or not. You're telling us we can ask for anything.
If I am capable of doing it, or performing it, or perhaps acquiring it, I cannot grant you the sun.
Nor would I ask for it. There's an item that I particularly desire. An item that may or may not be lost in legend, like I thought dragons were. I want the Holy Avenger.
You want such a weak weapon.
Oh, it's weak to you. What would you consider to be strong, Lecky?
I have lived for more than 1,000 years.
I'm getting close to that.
I said more. In the time before your likely first sight into this world, I have seen creatures. I have met riders. and have seen weapons that go beyond what your scope can even fathom. If that is all you desire, I can easily forge one for you now.
Actually, I have a different request now that you said that. What I desire now is the ability to at some point bond with you. In a sense, you talked of riders, did you not? And I believe that a bond would only be stronger if it's based on your own choice.
Yeah, the rest of us like flinch at like Dragon Rider, like
Turns around.
Walks forward with her hands extended to the creature. I'm not asking you to serve me. Servitude is not what I desire.
Nor would I
Not from
give
you.
it. But one needs to be able to attune to each other. If there is a flaw, a disconnection, or something unforeseen, one can easily perish, or at least be stricken as such.
You want to try it?
This is a warning, child, not a threat. If you want to assume you have the abilities, then I will not hinder your action.
I assume I have the ability.
Then let us see. Looking at
What
your
must
character
what must I
sheet.
do?
your brain is just gonna be full of other people.
I strive to become a hive mind.
In order to try to connect with this dragon, you must make an intelligence saving throw. Then a constitution saving throw. Then a wisdom saving throw. And you must beat at least 18 in each one.
Alright, there's only one thing to do. I'm gonna pop an inspiration candy.
Nice. I forgot you
I've
had
kept
that.
it until this point.
So that's a +8 on something after, or plus D8 on something after the roll.
Plus 2d6.
They are very good candies.
Mm.
And that's not saving anything.
Oh,
I kind of want to give it to you, but I made my rules exact.
I'm gonna roll the 2d6. Ah, so close with a 16.
Yeah, that was really close. You just don't die.
oh.
You roll an natural 20 on both, so you don't die.
That was dangerous. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bind.
Yeah.
You bind into its mind, trying to examine it. It allows you to enter inside. It overcomes your mind. Your body is trying to grasp the nature of its being, its source. Your body nearly decays or breaks apart. Luckily enough, it's already in that state. But it begins to burn away. Thankfully enough, your mind is able to repulse it, bringing together your singularity rather than an amalgamation of both. Unfortunately, you do not become what is known as a rider. But you also don't die, thankfully enough. As the separation or the link breaks, up to you if you want to try it again. Frost then states, many do not survive this trial. I am mildly impressed.
I really want to say something sarcastic right now. And in Primordial, I mean she's already dead, so...
Quick question, what does the Medal of Inspiration do again?
Oh, on my end,
No, that's it's an item that apparently he gave us.
Gave you it a while
mantle.
ago.
Okay.
That's what gave you your inspiration. That's why you had it.
No, I had
Oh,
I had inspiration candy.
we had candies and then we had a medal.
Yeah, we did.
I wonder what the medal does. I wonder if that had any chance of changing the outcome.
Probably.
Isn't it?
I think it was like you can even apply it after.
Yeah, that's just the inspiration. So you can't double inspiration something, can you?
In
I mean, isn't it
theory?
before like the effect is determined?
The medal we got wasn't it like
After the
we
roll,
can
but
use-
before the effect is determined.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
He already told me the DC, so
You
so
can't, what's it called? Like Byrod said, plus an inspiration into another inspiration, but you can plus an inspiration into a, what's it called? Other boon. So if you have something else that could perhaps add on, like blessing.
I don't know what it is though. I don't know what to roll for it.
The medal is an inspiration dice.
Oh, what kind?
So you,
D6.
That means that I have a clean 33% chance of passing this.
no, but you can't
No, you-
double inspiration the same
Yeah.
roll.
Oh,
Are you trying
okay.
to do it again?
I kind of do want to try doing it again with it.
Oh god.
It is
You know,
still there.
I want to try it again.
No.
All right. Okay.
I was close.
I mean, Caitlin, you're a single mother now. I don't.
What about
She's a what?
Penelope?
What do you mean she's a single mother?
Did
Fire
you
up.
not?
As you state this, no. You have another life that is not your life really to give. So think more clearly and come back to my domain if you ever want to try this again. But your
So I
life
have
is
the option
not
of a
your
retake.
own. I would like to see if you're capable, but first you must attend to whatever your life requires of it. And your life, as mentioned by your companions, is not your own.
It's
Or
never
rather,
been my
not
own.
your own solely.
I will come back and complete this right with you.
I will be in the heart of the Razor's Edge Mountains. Any of you are welcome there, if you're able to survive. And then it flies away.
Bye bye.
I start casting some sort of a weird spell.
Okay. As you do so, it takes the cat with it. It doesn't eat it, it just takes the cat with it.
Little kitty.
It's like a gorilla with a kitten.
Goodbye, little kitty.
Bye bye.
After a while, I'm gonna say 10 minutes of making sure you guys expect it to come back, kill you. It doesn't. At that point in time, it lands, and little kitty is able to project where it currently is, so you can find it again. Is why you assumed it brought the cat. Yeah, Cerberus is correct. But yeah, you now know the location of the dragon if you want to try this again. Oh, I was disconnected. That's why I don't hear anyone. . Trying to reconnect.
One.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello.
Okay. What's the last thing you heard?
Last thing you
Nothing.
heard, bigger question.
Yeah.
Little kitty, and that was it.
What?
Damn, that far back?
Fuck.
That's the last thing.
Uh,
That's the last thing that you heard, I guess.
Yeah.
While we recap this, I'll be right back.
Alright, we let Hollywood know that that Caitlin has a child, but the child does not know that Caitlin is undead.
He also informed me that the child was dead until a week ago, to which Hallie responded, "Well, what do you mean the child was dead?"
Okay.
We all pretty
This
much
has
felt
been a
like that.
very confusing events.
After 10 minutes of explanation, you then feel a connection again, Caitlin, from your cat. You're able to see its location and where the dragon now resides. If you want to try it again, you now know the location. Probably why it brought your cat.
Also, because we have the scale, we can scry it.
Yeah, true. But,
Probably rude.
probably rude.
Okay, so this was an eventful morning. I don't think anyone woke up today thinking we'd get gifts from a dragon. Should we continue following the map?
I'm back.
Okay.
Should we continue following the map?
How long have I been
Uh,
muted? I'm mad.
Oh no.
A good while.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Why are you mad?
The last thing I heard was, dang, that far back?
Dang, that far back?
Yeah.
Feels bad.
Aw.
Oh, I got the perfect thing for my mood right now. I might as well pin this shit somewhere.
Alright, so are we deciding if we're gonna continue on to El Dorado, or wait, what else are we trying to decide?
Well, I mean, this village was pretty rich with secrets, so should we give it another good investigation?
I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to do one more investigation before we leave it.
You can try, yeah.
I mean, we missed the dragon on our first way through.
Now, to be fair, we didn't miss him. He was just hiding.
Yeah, deep underneath the lake. Oh no.
And now he's deep into his mountain cave. That's
Yeah.
what it
No,
looks like.
he's far off into the Razor Edge.
The Razor's Edge Mountains.
I have it written down somewhere.
Gavin currently has a metal contraption that is currently playing this song, by the way. He got bored and decided to mess with something.
You got bored when the dragon was here?
Bored while we were
No.
talking.
Once it left.
Oh, it's only been gone for like 2 seconds.
Yeah?
Alright,
Technically 10 minutes.
Mhm.
It's been gone for 10 minutes, so I could sum up my thing.
Oh jeez. Oh, okay.
so our collective heartbeats have gone down like 10 BPM to still be double what they normally are.
Assume that we all have heartbeats.
Yeah, Caitlin's heart like beat one time.
I think that was
She
a
was like,
superior thing. Like, wait, what the fuck?
Your cat's back,
It's
by the
Little
way.
Kitty!
Oh, well, Kitty came back?
Apparently.
If you had to guess what's teleported back,
Alright,
Because you saw the location
investigation.
of the dragon, you can go there whenever you
Oh my
desire.
god.
And then it got forced back, you assume?
Oh, they could have talked to the little kitty. It understood.
I want to hug it.
The
If
little
little
kitty?
kitty's back. Yeah. He's normally on my head.
There's a definite weight loss when you're moving around.
I was like, what? Where did it go?
Poor little kitty.
I am your pedestal. Come back to my head, please. No.
Investigating the site, you now see what appears to be a disturbed lakefront by Roth. You're wondering where that came from.
Yeah, I know. There was a dragon here.
Oh yeah, you've heard about
That could be.
Rauta, you remember thinking back that Hallowoo had something or found something inside the statuary? Maybe that's the thing they were looking for? Hallowoo, you remember your bow came from somewhere hidden, so if there's something else here, it's possible it's also hidden, so unless you do something specific, it probably can't be found.
I just look into the darkness. I just give it a blank stare of not again. I don't want to get lost.
Cerberus? I don't know why you're rolling deception. But you
I heard
failed
they
at
start
it.
doing so hot at it.
This was with Cosmo. Checking over her.
Okay, cool. I don't know how insightful a cat is, but you basically just try to shoo it away. Okay.
The best thing to do with a cat is to pick it up and put it down in the exact same spot. So it's
Caitlin, you can tell that this statue stone, whatever it is, doesn't seem to resonate the same way it did beforehand. If something else is hidden here, the stone statue is likely the place to find whatever it is. That being said, the pocket dimension you assume where Hallowoo got the bow, that is locked. Any other type of pocket dimension might need a different access key.
Oh, I think I have an access key. I'm gonna finally draw the Lust Blade after like 6 hours.
Okay. You
Last time it was kind of the opposite of that. Okay.
You draw the blade and it simply states directly in your face. Can't keep a man and can't keep a pet. Honestly, you can't even be a crazy
What are you
cat
talking
lady.
about?
At this rate.
You're a crazy cat lady.
You say at Rauta.
Why? What? I put little kitty down. I'm sorry.
I'm talking to you. I was talking to you.
Oh, right. Pick little kitty back up. It's okay, little kitty. I know she sounds crazy sometimes. Just petting the cat. It'll be okay.
Oh, what's your name anyways? I can't keep calling you Shard. Because I don't want to.
You already know my distinction. If you want a name, I suppose you can provide me one.
I get to name you. Wow.
Just don't make it a fat person's
That
name.
That means your fate is in my hand. Wow.
I think you made a mistake.
That's definitely interesting right now, Shard.
I am slim and physically fit.
Are you now?
Can't you tell?
I think you can lose. I think you should. I think you can lose a little weight. She's like doing some practice swings with the sword. You're wildly off balance.
Do we hear all this?
You hear half of it.
You hear Kate inside.
I'm just looking at Caitlin, I'm looking down to the bow, and I just like have the look of, oh no, I've joined them.
inside your mind, Hallowoo, you hear, "Is she okay?"
I think she's fine. I think it's a similar thing that we have.
I don't think so.
Hers is a toxic one. No.
Guess you're right. I'm not going to be throwing you around anytime soon.
That's fair. Caitlin, you then hear, "So what do you want now? Dating advice? Cause, honey, you
You're bad at
definitely
that.
need
I
it."
don't want your dating advice. You're a horrible weak man.
Looking at Byroth.
Those uncalled for. I didn't even say anything. Oh no, wait, you're talking to the stupid blade again. You're really insecure with that thing.
Well, you did say something. You made this like 30 times worse for me. Anyways, the thing that I wanted you to do was wanted you to take a feel at this statue here.
Oh, I haven't seen one of these in a long time.
That's
Uh,
disturbing that you've seen anything at any time.
oh, sweetheart, I have had many wielders in the past. You're not
Someone call
exactly
you
special.
overused?
Ooh.
I wouldn't say
I don't
more
know whose
fun
burn was
too.
worse.
Probably Caitlin's, because that's the only one you can hear.
I heard both of them. It's like, dang. Oh yeah, I guess Rialta, yeah.
Okay. So you want me to interact with this keystone, is it? Alright.
Correct. I want to know if it corresponds to your attribute.
Oh, sweetheart, you have so much to learn.
Then teach.
Well, for starters, I mentioned the
As long as it doesn't
keystone.
have anything to do with my hair.
No. We're looking past your looks. Really deep into your consciousness. I mean, we have to. You don't have exactly a great personality.
Are you sure about that?
Anyways, the keystone can house more than one dimension. Depending on the type of key, you can unlock a certain door. Once the door has been opened and whatever it is inside has been removed, that door no longer houses anything, so it collapses on itself. Do you follow?
I think I understand currently.
Good. If I am placed at the bed of the rock bed, I might be able to open a door. But you will be the one that has to go through it, or another will. If we are not careful and you bring me inside and there's nothing inside, then we will both be trapped. But if another walks in and there's nothing inside, they'll be able to walk out unless they house something similar to my power.
Caitlin smiles, but it's hard to tell because she's got a fucking demon helmet on.
So you really want to make sure something's on the other side, or else we both get trapped.
Who said I was walking in?
Oh good, you have a brain. I was really starting to worry there, hun.
Each insult, your name gets worse.
Oh sweetheart, even if you give me a name, doesn't mean I'll respond to it.
Eventually, you'll have to.
He just ignores you and goes, so, if you want to do this, you can go ahead and try.
I open the gate then.
Okay, you go towards the keystone. A door does open. Gavin's no longer bored, so he stops playing this thing.
Okay, who is having to go through? Hallyu can't because she possesses an item similar to the shard. No, sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Never mind.
And Caitlin doesn't even know that Hollywood has that item that's similar to hers.
You know some stuff? Like, you know it's a virtue item, but that's all you really know.
Hey, Hollywood, you want to go inside this portal?
She went once already. Is that not tempting fate?
Wait, do we know that she went in there?
Not in this portal. It literally opened from a different direction.
If you have a shard, then you should be able to go in safely. As long as I hold the gate open with mine.
Isn't that just you deliberately lying to her?
Yeah.
Trying to get her to...
One insight check. Because I generally don't trust you, because I don't have any idea how this works. Did the bow ever give me another name, or does it go by virtue?
I don't think you asked it, but I'm just gonna give you it anyways.
I asked in chat.
Oh, sometimes I don't see it, sorry.
It's fine.
This one's known as kindness.
Oh.
Well, it's not my opposite.
I look down at kindness and I ask, is it a her?
It's an it, but it does have a feminine voice. If you had to assume, whoever crafted it might have not implemented, but imprinted on its being.
I ask kindness if she thinks it's a good idea.
If something's on the other side, maybe. It should be fine.
And you don't think I'm lying?
I mean, I can just choose not to trust you, considering I saw you fucking torture someone at an
Or you can just
interrogation.
not want to go in.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't have to go in.
I mean, Halibu was hesitant, so Gavin, seeing his chance of entertainment, allow me to go in your stead, Lady Halibu.
Oh, I can't go in instead.
Oh, we'll go together.
But I want to make sure that Hollywood doesn't want to go in first.
Stops, stares at Halibu. Well, choice is yours then.
I'm not really sure how this works. This is,
Ask first, you.
I just ask kindness if she knows anything. Or if it's just a complete blank for her.
Rolling 7. I know I was inside for a while. I don't know how to get out.
She said she was inside for a while but doesn't know how to get out.
A similar fate for most of the shards. They need a host.
Okay. Tell you what, whoever goes in, I still have much of my length of chain. So I can wrap it around your waist, tug you out if things go wrong, perhaps, so you don't lose the way.
Hey, Hallow. How much do you know about your shard?
Item.
I've been saying shard.
Whatever.
I still don't fully understand.
Wait, I don't
most
say
of
Hallow. I say Hallow with the glamorous.
Is the situation with these items?
Well, the
Not
Rialta
much.
is eager to go in. Should we let her?
Make sure you take the little kitty with you.
Okay.
Halabu, you just know that it's able to amplify your abilities. Beyond that, though, you have no idea about these items. It's potentially possible for you to get out. It's also potentially possible that you could not even enter inside. Your item and whatever Caitlin's holding in her hand currently are not the same thing.
Can I go home?
For one of us just like put their hand through or something.
Rialta wants
Wait,
to go
actually,
in.
I'm gonna
You
test something. I'm
hold
gonna
on.
cast Mage Hand and see if it can go through the portal.
It goes through.
And I take it back out.
Goes back out.
How long do you expect me to hold this portal open for?
Whoever goes through, I give him the chain.
You're just wrapping it around Rautang.
Fuck.
And then, if you'll allow me to use a bit of creative forge cleric thingies, I'll create a crampon out of a spare dagger.
Gavin then
And
looks
use that to
towards
secure.
Halabu. So, where are you coming with?
Might as well, I guess.
Enjoy your trip.
Okay. Byroth then wraps some more chain. You have plenty.
Okay. Remember, follow the chain. Hopefully nothing bad happens.
I am curious about something, Hollywood the Glamour. Should I call you Virtue now, or still Hollywood the Glamour?
I mean, my name didn't change.
Do we call you Lusty Caitlin?
Please don't.
Can't we?
Not in front of a child.
Oh man.
So, party members Cerberus, Gavin, Rauta, and Halabu enter inside.
Just me and Caitlin on the other side. Jeez.
It'd be real awkward if I stuck out straight out this right now.
If it looks
Real
like you're gonna
awkward.
pull away, I'll straight up kick you right into it.
That's a tough check. Do I have to? I'm actually curious now. Do I have to do anything, or can I just not concentrate on this thing?
I don't know. The blade just said it can open the portal. It doesn't mean you have to hold on. If you had to guess, it's also messing with you, so you don't have to keep your hand there. I don't know.
Cool.
Up to you. To either.
I'll insight check the blade if that helps.
Okay. Inside, all four of you see darkness, an epicenter of nothingness. You then feel a pulse inside your own heartbeat. And another. And another, as each step brings you your palpitations harder inside your chest.
Is it like dark, like we can't see if we can see in the dark, or?
It is pitch black nothingness. Dark vision, superior dark vision would not help. The only things that could potentially help are devil sight or true sight.
I picked True Sight, but I already burnt my 6th level in them.
Yeah, apparently. You just see the area as a foggy haze then. Inside, though, is nothingness except for one item inside of a chest. You assume, because there's a chest in the middle of the entire place. Do you head towards it? Because if you head towards it, the rest of the group will be pulled along that way.
Wait, who's leading?
Currently, everyone stepped inside and no one has moved.
Okay, well, I will walk over cautiously to it. Can I do an Arcana check before I just want to...
You can't see it, is the thing. Right now, only
Oh.
Cerberus can. So as they walk straight towards it, uh, she doesn't speak. You all bump into the thing. Nothing happened. No trap triggers. As Cerberus then decides to open it, before you guys could actually, I don't want to say feel it up, because that sounds wrong, but you feel up a box.
Oh.
Cerberus opens it,
Back
and
here for
then-
lust.
and then the shadows envelop into this trunk itself. Inside the shadows, then, you're all able to see a still gray room. Inside the box,
Wait, there's a room inside the box?
no. The shadows that were enveloping your sight converge into the box. So now the room that you're in is a gray room, and now you see the box. Inside,
Oh.
you can all now see what appears to be a blade currently forming out of the shadow. And then at a certain point, it forms fully and wholly. But it is similar to a weapon that Caitlin has on her, the blade that she was currently holding. It is not the same blade, but it is something similar.
And we all see it now, right?
Yes.
Can I check it?
Sure. Byroth, go ahead and Arcana check this.
I'm outside.
Yeah, but you control relatives.
Oh, sorry. You're correct.
Sorry.
Arcana.
You know that this blade is similar to what Caitlin now houses. So, if you want something to speak in your head and basically yell at you, you could potentially wield it.
And it's a blade.
It's
like
a blade.
sword.
If you had to assume this is another thing called a shard that Caitlin has been mentioning beforehand, you guys were told that these things are known as shards of sin. You have found 5 so far. This would be the 6th. Out of game, you know this would be the 6th. In game, this would be the second one you guys know about.
Our Severus. Oh, because I can't see the chat anymore because the stream thing stopped. So are they saying anything? Because I don't want to like compose.
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Everything is disconnected, so the stream stopped too.
No, it's okay. Oh, thank you.
No problem. Caitlin and
I just wasn't
Byroth.
sure if they were talking or not. I was like, like I don't want to like.
Yeah, me and Caitlin are saucing each other.
Oh, okay. Because. Oh, come on, phone. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Cerberus then sees everyone's hesitation, picks it up.
Oh, see, okay, so I was trying to wait to see if never mind.
Okay. Picks it up and walks towards the exit. Technically moves. How do we go? No, wait, this would be Realta. Realta, go ahead and roll. Actually, what's your passive perception?
I think it's 18.
Yeah, I think Byros said that before.
17.
Yep, 18.
This would only work with you. Everyone else's passives would just wave it off as some strange mark. You know that there's a mark on the box. Everyone else can see it too. It's not that surprise. No one really knows what it is. It's not a language. It's not some holy mark or symbol. Relta, you know that your master used to write in this language, and this is the symbol of your master. So this once was the blade of your master. You've never seen them wield it, and if they put it inside of a box, inside of a weird contraption, there's probably a good reason why.
See, I would have tried to grab it with like a cloth or something, but we already, I guess, Cerberus just grabbed it and walked away with it.
Grabbed it and begins to walk. You know, touching it wouldn't probably do anything based on how Caitlin wasn't acting before, but if you attune to it, probably will do something. So touching it by hand would not cause the issue.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was like when we touched it, it caused it. Okay. It's when you attune to it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more power.
You can take the box with you. The box is the box.
Well, I'm gonna grab the box and
Relta got the
follow.
real reward here. This excellent amount of. I said Relta got the real reward. Craftsmanship.
Well, it's my master's box. I wanted to find something that belonged to my master while I was here, at least, or somebody I knew. Well, I'll grab the box and follow Cerberus out of the portal.
Okay.
I kind of would like to ask if I could have this blade.
Okay. As you guys, I assume Halliwoo is following?
Oh yeah, she's following.
Okay, because you're all tied together.
Alright, so we're all following Cerberus, and yeah, I'll ask Cerberus if I can. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. I'll just ask you if I can have it.
Shanks her head at Rialto.
You guys still in the portal, or are you coming out?
We're all coming out, I think.
I mean, you're trying.
Following the line?
Definitely following
Hopefully.
the line. An hour passes outside in the real world. No one has come out yet.
Can I start? If I pull on the chain, is it slack or is it pulling against something?
It's fully taut.
After an hour, how long was Halliwoo in there?
10 minutes.
Yeah, probably gonna start to pull.
Okay.
Well, we're all walking out of the portal, right?
As you're all walking out of the portal, then a few minutes pass. Then a few more. After an hour, after 10 minutes, you're getting concerned. You rush, move, steadily quicken your pace. Nothing happens. After an hour's pass, you feel something pull you back. The way you're going is the way you came, but the way you were pulled is the way you went.
While this is going on, I'll ask Cerberus why I can't have the blade, and I'll explain to her that it was my master's and that's why I would really appreciate if I could have it.
Cerberus prepares.
We'll sit down next to Cerberus while she does that and waits patiently.
Okay. Byroth, the line gets a little looser. which should not happen.
Check on something real quick.
She brought Widow Kitty with her, right?
No.
Yeah, little kitty's with me.
Oh, the token was
She's
moved,
in my
so I
head.
thought she wasn't. Yeah.
Can I take my cat with me? Can I talk through my cat from the inside
You can see
to the
through
outside?
your cat. If your cat's able to speak, then yes.
It's the altered version of Find Familiar.
Oh, then yeah.
Then I'm just gonna ask everyone what side I can send a message out.
Okay. As you say that, Cerberus says, "Why did you not collect it?"
Out of game, I was waiting for you guys to respond. I wasn't sure if you were responding or not because I couldn't see the chat. That's why I waited. There was no in-game reason. I was just waiting patiently for you guys. So I'm not really sure how to answer that in-game, honestly, because there was no in-game reason for me to wait. I was.
She just didn't.
Should we just pick it back up then?
Because I would have grabbed it.
Yeah, that's hard to.
I mean, since I've been in this situation before, I would say that, like, once we enter, if we don't leave without it, we can't leave.
Okay. Relta, you basically state, I was checking to see if it was safe, because that's the best way I can interpret this. Cerberus, seeing that technical employer is there, hands it over to Gavin to decide what to do with it. Gavin then looks at the rest of the group and then states, "All right, excellent. Now then," and throws it directly at Relta. Go ahead and roll dexterity saving throw. Cerberus and Halibu, you saw him throw it. It wasn't a casual toss. He threw it.
Can you roll for me, so?
Sorry, dexterity you need?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Throwing it
Can
at
I
you?
use my
Wait.
whatchamacallit thingy?
Inspiration?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah.
So that's a regular d6 for that one?
I want to catch it in the box.
11 total.
It was a DC 10. What was gonna happen was, I mean, it still happens. As he throws it at you with no hesitation, no malice within his sight, you freak out, open the box, and it throws it inside. Well, that takes care of that. Oh, I probably should have told you I was gonna throw it at you. My bad.
Yes, that's okay. Thank you.
Do you not pass things gently over to one another, especially magic items that could be
pointy magic items that can kill?
like she just really had a heart attack?
Sorry.
Just all shaken.
I'm kind of panicked right now. We're inside of a weird room that won't let us go forwards.
Right.
Interpreting
About
this
that.
awkwardly, brings out the staff.
Don't I have... I never got it. I didn't get that spell, did I?
No. But Gavin didn't give you a big clue, so Cerberus, Relta, and Halibu can go ahead and roll insight to interpret what it means. Byroth, what are you doing in the outside?
So I pulled on it hard and that didn't really work, so I think I'm just maintaining a bit of tension. But if we get towards the hour-and-a-half mark, I'll start pulling harder.
Okay.
Inside. Natural
Wait,
20 for
why does
Rialta.
Nice.
Cerberus looks
To
like he's
interpret what
about
means.
to.
To interpret what the significance of moving forwards but not being able to move forwards means.
Is it because the chain is holding you back and you have to go forward to go back? Or...
I mean, I could ask Kindness if she knows anything about how to get out.
Okay. Kindness wouldn't know, so they simply state, I don't know. Cerberus, then do you turn around and go the direction you were pulled, I assume? Okay, you turn around and get the direction you're pulled. The hour-and-a-half mark comes, and you get pulled again. This time, Rialta gets pulled in the opposite direction you get pulled. Cerberus, Halibu also gets pulled in the same direction that Rialta does. Gavin the same. Rialta, thinking about this? Oh, duh, we have to walk backwards.
Alright. So we just have to walk backwards, and I think we should be able to get out of here. Kind of
Flipping
looking at.
back to the way the others are, everyone in a group walks backwards. In an instant, like literally an instant, you just walk out of that area. Gavin
Welcome back, Wilbur travelers.
then states, well then, I don't want to go in there again.
You don't have to. I closed the portal.
It immediately collapsed once they stepped out.
Because I was going to shoot the sword.
Gavin then states, oh, I was so bored for an hour and a half. Nothing happened after we got the blade.
I was also bored. Because my hand was up.
Tell me about it. It's as if some strange fluctuation was occurring inside the room. As if two polar opposite things were causing things to flip upside down.
Yeah, black and white.
Nah, not more like, magnets.
Yin and yang. But like,
Or
a
yang
different
and yang.
messed up version. Just balance these things. So what'd you find inside? I always see it's about to holding a box.
The
I
box?
found my master's old blade.
Blade.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my sword if it senses anything. But in my head, I say it for once in my life.
Ooh, that's weird.
Isn't it?
This one is quite dangerous. I suggest you don't wake it up.
I say in my head, which one is it?
A lady never tells.
If it's dangerous, wouldn't your host be in danger?
Oh, sweetheart. It only hurts those that are living. And
Oh,
moving
then I'm
around.
fine.
It knows what you were about to say. And moving around.
Oh god, it's sloth, isn't it?
No.
Well, I've got 5 more guesses.
I'm only telling you once.
So it's not sloth, or I assume that you don't have a twin.
I never said that. At that point,
You
though,
didn't
you
have
know
to.
that it's messing with you.
I know.
So,
Hey, Caitlin, I can't help but overhear. You think this is a sin shot?
I said it in my head for once.
Yeah, he actually did say it in his head for once.
Rats.
Yeah,
Aha.
doesn't work this time. But I know it. I know that it's a sin shard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you
I'm
attend
gonna-
to it?
Not yet, but I'm going to. But I'm going.
No, it was a character.
I just told you it was my master's old blade, and now you're having a conversation with yours.
Yeah.
I want to put it in my bag of holding for now.
Okay. You stretch it out, it plops in with the box, and you're good.
Cause I don't. You're just standing there, blank faced, Caitlin.
Mood. But I am watching you put it away.
Yeah, I know.
Gavin then goes,
I'm not
"Welcome."
like hiding where I'm putting it. I'm just putting it away because carrying a box.
Yeah, kind of annoying. Gavin then states, "Well then, job well done. I think wasn't really part of the job. So continue forwards, take a nap. It's been a very eventful morning."
Well, thanks for
Is
your
the
help.
tower thing still vibrating in any way?
No.
Okay.
If it's potentially possible for it to, you guys wouldn't know how to open another gate.
We're 2 for 2. We should.
We
Put it
must now
lower.
we must now cross the streams, Hollywood, to open up the final gate.
If you want to try.
Hell no. Walking away.
Walks away. Yes.
I will talk to Kate. I do kind of want to talk to Caitlin though about what I found in there because you were the one that had the portal open and everything.
Oh yeah, I said nothing about why I opened the portal.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna wait until like later and just be like, so this is what I found in there, and I'll tell you. I don't know.
She will pick
Yeah.
you up and put you on the horse now, though.
Oh.
Sin horde. Oh my god. It's you have the thoroughbred of sin. Bad horse.
Why do you think I chose a black Pegasus?
Ooh.
It's not even technically a celestial.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Cerberus, go ahead and roll insight on the snow. I know that's weird, but go ahead.
Oh, it's dragons.
Fucking tells me what you're doing. It's not technically.
21. That's mega high.
Examining the snow, you can tell this stuff is not melting. Oftentimes, snow melts, gets replenished, melts, replenished. Even if in a cold environment, it will eventually disappear and reappear. If you had to guess, the snow that the dragon created is permanent.
Permanent snow cones.
You know, unless it ingested or otherwise.
I was seconds away from asking about frosty food.
Shaping the water around it, you shape it, but it does not melt, thaw, or otherwise. So this avalanche site will remain unless completely excavated.
I excavated a good portion of it last week, but
I mean, true excavation will take at least a week of intensive work.
I used what the hell was it? Part water, because he said it worked on snow. But anyway, besides the point. Halliwoo has a question.
Yeah, waiting for the timer.
Did we know that did we know that Caitlyn could die from the dragon attenuation? Well, the dragon made it pretty clear that it was dangerous, and
Yeah, Byroth is correct. While not stating you will die, basically implying the same thing.
Okay. I just needed to know if it was before or after for later.
It was before. Like it warned you beforehand, and Caitlyn said, "Yeah, I'm game. Bring it on."
I'm undead. And the dragon's like, I know, I'm a dragon.
What cannot kill you makes you stronger.
But thinking about on this, Cerberus cleaning their hands, Halibu heading forwards with the cat, a few things on their mind. Gavin now excited about who he brought with him. Baroth concerned about Caitlin's mental state, if I read
That's
that
crazy.
conversation correctly. Caitlin were interested rather in Rauta. Rauta now riding a horse with a cat with a blade in her bag. And Civ just in the background. You have no idea what she's been doing because people keep not paying attention to her.
I still think she's a spy.
There's been a lot going on.
I'm all like, Civ's a spy. I've written it down like 5 times.
I thought
Wondering
that
if-
was like how we introduced her. She's
No, like I feel like she's just like, I don't know, like a spy in a bad way. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about her.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's a double agent. Get her.
she's
I
working
swear
for
to
the
God,
war
I write
god.
it like almost every game I play. I write a note about her. It's always bad. Like, I don't trust her. Like,
Yeah. Heading
Aw.
further down the line, you make way towards El Dorado as we end the session for today.
Yay.